Hi friends, it's Lala. So I've been doing videos for the last year or so where I make a video that I want to do something or read something, and then later on I do an update video. For example, I did a video a year ago that was books I think are going to be 5 stars, and then I did an update check-in a year later on all those books. Those videos are very organized and planned. I've been doing those for a year. However, there are definitely some videos from 3 years ago when I started my channel, when I had no plans ahead for follow-up check-ins, recaps on the things I was talking about. I was just talking about stuff. So today I thought it would be fun to watch a video from 3 years ago talking about authors that I haven't read that I need to read. And we're gonna see if my follow-through is good. I haven't watched this video since probably the day it was posted. I have no idea the 10 authors that I said I absolutely have to read as soon as possible. And we'll see if I have in fact read books from those authors 3 years later. 3 years, it's a long time. So I've got my phone ready. We're gonna watch a video together from 3 years ago. Oh, I hope I've at least read a couple of these books or a couple of these authors. And if I haven't, I'm not gonna make any promises, okay? Top 10 authors I need to read. The thumbnail says, unread author shame. Hey guys, it's Lala. So just last week, Christine posted a video about, oh, my voice sounds different, the top 10 authors that she needs to read that she hasn't read yet. I have a different bookshelf, same angle, different bookshelf, different camera. Okay, I'm gonna start again. Hey guys, it's Lala. So just last week, Christine posted a video about the top 10 authors that she needs to read that she hasn't read yet. And then she mentioned Stephen King as an author she hadn't read, and literally my response was like, what? How? What? Just because he's my favorite author. Okay, first of all, I like how I just said Christine, you, I know her. 3 years ago, I was best friends with Christine. Christine made a video and I just wanted to do one too. And I couldn't comprehend it. And then I was like,
Kayla, your unread author shame is probably way more offensive than her.
Okay. Pro tip. Sped up speaking is not quality editing. So I'm going to tell you the top 10 authors that I haven't read from that I feel shame for. Author shame really isn't a thing. Book shaming yourself for not reading someone or something is ridiculous. But I hope this video serves 2 purposes. Maybe it'll force me to read these authors, and maybe it'll give you a chance to recommend which books from those authors I should start with. Okay, did it force me to read these authors? Was I just full of it? I got 60 comments, which is pretty good for kind of the start of my channel. I guess I was a couple months in at this point, but did I read those recommendations? Did I read those books? Let's find out. Number 10 is Cassandra Clare. This is shameful for the sheer fact of this is one of the most talked about series, being the Mortal Instruments, on BookTube. Okay, I see what's happening. Like I talked about in my Closet on Haul, if you've never watched my Closet on Haul, sorry. But okay, when I first started my channel, I didn't even know what I liked to read. I had just gotten back into reading after a years-long reading slump. I had no idea what I liked. I had no idea genres I even liked. I just knew the authors that people were talking about, and on BookTube in general, back then, it was all YA is what I was coming across. And as you know from the Closet on Haul, I was just buying every book that I heard everyone even vaguely mention. So I was not actually interested in reading Cassandra Clare. It's just that everyone was talking about her, so I thought I should probably read a book by her. Have I? Absolutely not. Will I? Absolutely not. If Cassandra Clare ever writes something outside of the Shadowhunter stuff, I might check her out. But my husband has the entire, has all of her books and has read most of her books, and via listening to the audiobooks occasionally when he's listening to them, I have no interest in reading Cassandra Clare in general. Paranormal romance is not something I'm currently interested in at all, really. And I especially don't love spanning series, so okay, first one, haven't read, but I don't feel bad about it at all. Number 9 is going to be A.S. King. This is an author that I have intended to read so many times, and I just keep not picking up books from her, which is so ridiculous. Everyone talks about Ask the Passengers. Everyone talks about Reality Boy. Everyone talks about, what is it, like, Please Ignore Vita Dietz or something like that. Like, that's like a classic. Okay, hi, A.S. King is one of my all-time favorite authors, and I've read every single one of her books except for one. We're in front of my red shelf, so any of the authors mentioned in this video should be on this shelf if I've read them. So all the A.S. King, love A.S. King. So even 3 years ago, I had a feeling that I would love A.S. King, and I was right. Actually, like, a couple of these books hadn't even come out yet when I had made that video. I love A.S. King. She's one of the authors that I own the most books of. Okay, so we started off bad, made up for it. What's the next one? Number 8 is one of my most shameful. All you Canadian lit lovers are going to
Margaret Atwood
from Canada for not having read Margaret Atwood. I haven't read Margaret Atwood. I know. I haven't even read A Handmaid's Tale, like, in my whole life. I haven't, like, let alone anything else by her. Have I read a Margaret Atwood? I sure have. It's her smallest book. It's called 10. It's short stories. I only gave it 3 stars, so I don't feel very inclined to pick up more from her. I know I still should. Calm down. But I've read a Margaret Atwood, so yeah. Yay. My number 7 pick is going to be Sarah Dessen. Sarah Dessen, I finally picked up one of her books a couple months ago, and I still haven't read it. Okay, if you watch the unhaul, you know that I have since unhauled that book. I do have one other Sarah Dessen still on my shelf. It's called Saint Anything. I don't know if that's right. I still haven't read it. I don't currently feel shame for not reading Sarah Dessen because it's just not really, like, since making this video and since the 3 years ago when I started BookTube, I have really honed in my tastes, and that genre is just not something that I really love. I do read some, like, YA, fluffy contemporary romance, but, like, I have a select few authors that I already trust in that genre. So maybe Sarah Dessen, maybe I could love her. I don't know. Side note, Lala 3 years ago. This list is really diverse. Just a really diverse list of authors. Killing it. The author I've chosen is the one that I need to correct immediately. Oh, and I need to pick up a book by him ASAP. He's like the first on my list that I need to read. Is it? And that's Andrew Smith. I have planned on reading Winger since like a year before it came out. And I feel like Andrew Smith has like 3 books. Besides any other book, he has other books that I want to read too. I really want to read Grasshopper Jungle. Sorry, I'll show you over here. Winger, Grasshopper Jungle. I think Winger is now a sequel. Okay, I have read Andrew Smith. I did indeed pick up Winger, and I kind of hated it. This is one of those books that, like, even in the future, I now look back on and I would give it even lower of a rating. Like, I've kind of changed my thoughts on even more to the negative. That could be another video too. Remind me to do that someday. Books that I've changed my mind about. Yeah, didn't love this. Didn't love the plot. Didn't love the writing. I have Grasshopper Jungle actually in my TBR closet. I have no set date of when I want to pick that up. It's just, but it's another author I've read. So we should have a little tally. How many have I read so far? Because we're halfway through. Number 5 is a little different than the last couple, because the last couple, it's like they have tons of books that I need to get to. I don't know which to start with. This one is a specific series, but I can't believe that I still haven't read Mallory Blackman, specifically Noughts and Crosses. This is what, like, a multiple book series. I have come across, I don't have a lot of people who read her and who love her that I've heard of, but there's a couple specific booktubers that talk about her. And I'm like, oh my god, I need to read Noughts and Crosses. Okay, I still do really want to read Noughts and Crosses. I have Noughts and Crosses. I also have Checkmate. I can't find Noughts and Crosses. Totally want to read Mallory Blackman. Obviously haven't made her a priority though, so shoot, that's another haven't read yet. Is this video gonna force me to finally read these authors? I mean, it should. This video should have, but clearly it didn't. Number 4 is the author I get shamed for most, and that is J.K. Rowling. I'm sure you are all waiting for me to mention Harry Potter if you watch my videos, because I talk about the fact that I haven't read Harry Potter, and like chaos ensues in the comments. People are like, how have you not read Harry Potter? And now that I've read Harry Potter, the chaos has continued with, why do you like Harry Potter? Where is Harry Potter? Oh, I put it in Liam's closet. The whole Harry Potter series is in Liam's closet because I decided I'm not going to continue in it. For all you people over the last like year who constantly ask me, when are you going to continue in the Harry Potter series? The answer is never. It's just not my thing, okay? I'm sorry. I know every single comment is going to be like, but the series gets better the more you read. I don't care. I'm not going to read it. I've actually read 2 J.K. Rowling's because I've read The Cuckoo's Calling, which I also didn't like, but that's another check. On to number 3, and we have Libre Bray. I think Christine mentioned Libre Bray, if I'm not mistaken, but I too have not read The Diviners. I haven't read Beauty Queens. I haven't read A Great and Terrible Beauty, which, oh look, I own that one. I've read all 3 of those books. Look at all my Libre Bray I've read. So I liked The Diviners, didn't love it. Read Beauty Queens, didn't love it. Great and Terrible Beauty, obsessed. But then I didn't love the sequel. I do still plan to finish the series. And then I also read Going Bovine, which I probably had not even heard of when I made that video. And this is my favorite Libre Bray. So yay, I've read Libre Bray. I really, really enjoy Libre Bray. Oh, that's exciting. Okay. The video's on an upswing. My number 2 most shameful author that I haven't read. This is the last time I'm going to mention her. What? Before reading a book from her. The next time that I mention Tana French, it's gonna be in like a wrap up because I've read a book by her. This is In the Woods. It's book 1 of the Dublin Murder Squad. I was expecting something a little more exciting, but it's just because I really don't remember my old videos. Now that I think about it, I did mention In the Woods in probably 5 different TBRs and tags and different videos like this one, and I didn't really love it very much. I don't love detective focused mysteries, and this one was no different. It just wasn't great. I don't plan to continue in the series. I could see myself picking up other stuff from her, but I'm not going to read any more of the Dublin Murder Squad. Huh, interesting. And the number 1 author that I haven't read yet is actually kind of a lie because I read one of his books, but it kind of felt like a short story, and it was also kind of like, it felt like kid. Who are we talking about? And that was A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. But besides that, so I have read a book by him. Haven't read a Patrick Ness book, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I have The Knife of Never Letting Go. I have it. It's here, and I just haven't read it yet. Wow, I was so naive. Okay, I've actually read quite a bit of Patrick Ness. The Knife of Never Letting Go, my most anticipated one, I really didn't like. I think I originally gave this 3 stars and I've bumped it down to like a 2. However, you know, I did read A Monster Calls, which I talked about, which I feel like should count as reading a book by somebody. I don't know why I wouldn't count that. Really enjoyed it, 4 stars. And then I read The Rest of Us Just Live Here, 5 stars, one of my favorite books of all time. Then I read More Than This, 4.5 stars, one of my favorite books of all time. And then I got an arc of Patrick Ness. Oh my god, so weird to think that 3 years ago I hadn't read this author. I didn't even know what an arc was, and now publishers send me his books to review. What a weird life. So didn't really like Release, not to end it on a bummer. Oh wait, actually I also just read an arc of And the Ocean Was Our Sky. Didn't love this one either. But the question of did I read Patrick Ness, I super have read Patrick Ness. So that's exciting. Okay, I'm glad the last couple on the list, the ones that were like my most want to read authors, I have read. There were definitely some surprises on here. Authors that I'm not interested in, and authors that I now feel even more shame for still not having read. Though, in 3 years, I feel like that's not the worst number in the world, but it's still not great. Especially considering I read upwards of 150 books a year. And have for the last 3 years. Okay, well, now I'm gonna reassess some things, and you can still feel free to recommend some whatever you want in the comments below. Let me know if you want me to do an updated version of this video, because I could totally do that. Can't even think about who I would mention, but I could come up with a list of authors that I need to read. That could be a thing. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I will see you later. Bye.